Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji, Madan Pranam to you and all the devotees on the call. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Rupini Padma Devi Dasi from Orlando, Florida.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Surinder Bhandari from Maryland.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Maharaji, this is Rita from Clarksville, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Puja
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mat. Please go ahead. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunjara Sadas from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. And Prabhuji, will you please start the recording as you
Yes,
are the
Mataji,
host?
I'm starting that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Welcome.
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji and all the Samay devotees. Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamarasi Karavidasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have Her Grace Vanmalini Manjari Mataji. And today Mataji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, Verse 8 onwards. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Whenever you are ready, please take over the call.
Hare Krishna, my Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled devotees. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to glorify Lord and His pastimes in the association of devotees. We are very fortunate to be able to do this every day, that too in the morning time, where Sattva-guna is prominent, hearing, chanting about Lord's pastime, trying to contemplate on them, meditate on them, so that we grow from a stage where we know. So everybody says that I know this pastime. So knowing the pastime is just a beginning. Realizing that pastime, living that pastime, visualizing that pastime, we will go to that stage when we grow in bhakti. So Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Because we can't do 24/7, but doing a regulated Bhagavata is almost equal to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So we are all very fortunate beings in this, at this point of time, in this material world. We'll start with Mangalacharan prayers and then we'll continue to the verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindubhya eva cha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Hare Krishna, once again to all the devotees. So we are reading the wonderful pastime of Lord Narasimha from 7th canto of Srimad Bhagvatam. So this canto mostly focuses on Lord Narasimha's pastime, beginning with Hiranyakashipu. It begins with a question by Yamadharmaraja, even before that by a Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj, when he is listening to Sukadeva Goswami, Srimad Bhagavatam, so many of you already know that Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days by a snake bite. Knowing that Parikshit Maharaj did not plan to finish off any material affairs in this material world. He is a king. So the more we are in a higher position, the more we get attached to it and the more we want to live one more day. Nobody would like to give up the power or responsibility or life or anything voluntarily on their own. None of us will be at any point of time ready to say that, okay, in 1 week you're going to die. Even though we know that all of us are going to die at one point of time. Those who has taken birth has to die. Jatasya dhruvo hi mrityur. Bhagavad Gita says that. We all know that. We have seen people leaving their bodies and going. But still, we don't accept the reality and we are very attached to it, our material body. And we have so many things to wrap up. But Parikshit Maharaj immediately accepted. He did not protest. He did not say that I'm going to do something else. And he inquired what should be done by a person who is going to leave the body. And he started listening Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, a great devotee. So Sukadeva Goswami arrived in the arena of Parikshit Maharaj on his own. That is mercy of the Lord. When we practice devotional service, when we are alive, healthy, when our hands and legs are moving nicely, when we can sit down and chant for 1-2 hours, when we can do some devotional service to the Lord, when we engage, when we are in good health in the service of the Lord, Lord helps us at the point where we are not able to do anything. So we don't know. Old age is like very painful sometimes. Maybe we may have a lot of people to take care of us, but we ourselves may forget ourselves. There are so many medical related, I don't know whether they should be called diseases or what, but we forget ourselves, our memory will dwindle, our eyes won't see, we will not be able to see properly, we can't hear. So maybe we forget also to chant. But if we are in association of devotees, those devotees will help us to remember the Lord, to listen to the pastimes of the Lord. So before that, actually, we have to help ourselves. Because even though they can read to us, we should be able to listen. Even though they take us to temples, we should be able to see, sit down there, process and all. So we should go to, by the time we come to old age, we should go to a stage where we don't need any of our senses to engage. We should be growing up. We should be progressing in devotional service in such a way that we come to the stage of smaran, like we are always thinking of the Lord. We are sitting. We will be thinking of something or else. It's not that thinking process will stop. Thinking process will be there even in old age. when we are sitting in the sofa, or when we are not able to move properly, do anything, we will be thinking about something. If we don't have any kind of a disease where we lost our memory, we will be sitting down and thinking about everybody in the family, and we will be keep on asking whoever is our immediate caretaker, how is that boy doing, how is that girl doing, do you know what happened in my childhood? And we will be interfering in everything, and we will be thinking about everything. So we should practice to think about the Lord, think about the pastimes of the Lord. So we have to train our brain, or train our mind to think about Lord whenever we have free time, like when we are waiting. Most of us nowadays, there is nothing like we make our mind think without any external device. Even if you are waiting 5 minutes for something, we quickly open our phone. And I often see in the meetings at workplaces also, when it is not your turn to speak, we don't have, we forgot that we can live without the devices also. Like we can use our mind to think something else, not looking into the devices. So we should grow to a stage where we are using our mind to think about the Lord, His names, His pastimes, His glories, His beauty. So to think about it without any external help, like seeing, listening, or touching, we should be doing that a lot when we are healthy, so that it sits in our memory, and then we will be able to remember. So Parikshit Maharaj, with Krishna's mercy, got Sukadeva Goswami, who is speaking Bhagavatam. And when he is listening to Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj is not like unattentive or inattentive. Anyway, I'm going to die. They said that this is going to give me a better life. Let me do it. But at the same time, worry about, oh, why I am dying? I should live more. What will happen to my son? Will he be able to take care of this kingdom properly or not? What will happen to my wife? What will happen to my children? He did not do all those things. He was very attentively listening, attentively hearing. So how do we know when we are attentively hearing, we get immersed in the kada, and we may get doubts because we are not at that stage where everything is very clear to us. Neither Arjuna nor Parikshit Maharaj heard when Bhagavad Gita was spoken or Bhagavatam was spoken without a question. They always ask a question. They are very attentive listeners. So Parikshit Maharaj asked question, is Lord partial? Does he only take care of the Devi Devtas because they surrender to him, and he will be impartial to demons? Does Lord need to do like that? He need to favor certain set of people. Is he dependent on them? So Parikshit Maharaj asked this question to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami narrates another story or another pastime or another incident where Dharmaraja, Pandava's elder brother, Dharmaraja, asked this question to Narada Muni. Why did Sisupala get a liberation? One, Sisupala, from the time he started speaking, he only blasphemed Lord Krishna. And then how did he was given a liberation, moksha? What is happening here? To get moksha is very difficult. And how did he get that moksha so easily? Why is Lord so merciful towards him? So Narada Muni starts narrating the story of Lord Narasimha, pastime of Lord Narasimha. So now we come to another third story, where Hiranyakashipu is lamenting the death of his brother Hiranyaksha. So there are these two brothers, Hiranyakasipu and Hiranyaksha, demon brothers. They have a reason to be demons because they did an offense towards 4 Kumaras when they were the doorkeepers or in the Vaikunta. So they were given an option, 6 lives being devotees of the Lord in material world, or 3 lives being enemies of the Lord. So they thought that 3 lives is less. Even though we are enemies, we are enemies of the Lord. And that too, like thinking about the Lord always, but in an unfavorable way. So in all the 3 lives, they were thinking about the Lord with one of the things very prominent. So Shishupala's life is like that. So they were actually devotees. So they were very strong enemies of the Lord. So they choose the three because they want to go back to Lord's. They want to go back to serve Lord's lotus feet as soon as possible. So one of the brothers, this one lifetime where they are born as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord in the form of Varaha. Lord comes down in the form of Lord Varaha and he kills Hiranyaksha. So everybody laments the death of Hiranyaksha, his wives, Hiranyakasipu's mother, everybody. They are lamenting. And Hiranyakasipu comes and speaks philosophy, telling them that, don't you all know that everybody is going to die? And then he tells another story inside this, where Yamadharma Raja comes as a small boy and speaks to the relatives of Suyagna, who is a king who died. So Hiranyakasipu tells that story when he is trying to pacify his family members. So after speaking philosophy, it is not that Hiranyakasipu knows so much philosophy, so he's going to turn out into a good boy or a good person. He becomes even more inimical towards Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana. He says that I'm going to kill this person because he killed my brother. For that, I need a lot of power. So he performs austerities. He performs austerities with a desire to become Ajayam, unconquerable, that nobody should defeat him, free from Ajara, free from old age and Amaram, deathless. So he doesn't know at that point that nobody in this material world can become deathless. That is not at all in nature of material world. Whatsoever it is, we all have our death date ready. We just don't know that right now. We are dying every second, every minute. We don't even know. We celebrate birthdays as good things, but actually we died for that many years before, and we only are left with some more years to live. And if we don't make use of those every second, every minute, we may not be even getting a human form of life. If our activities, our karma, when we are living, are not matching to get the body of a human form of life, we may not even get a human form of life. So the opportunity given to us to be human being should be used properly, knowing how to use it. To know what is the purpose of human form of life, we have to listen to scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and work on that. Does our mind cooperate when we want to work for the purpose of the human form of life? No, our mind does not. Our mind does not want us to wake up from the bed and go to work. Work diligently 8 hours, 10 hours. 30 minutes you work, you feel like going and watching something, going and eating something, going and enjoying. So our mind always suggests us to enjoy the senses. It never wants us to work diligently. So we really have to tell our mind. So he asked for Ajayam, Ajara, Amaram, and Apratidvandam. So there should not be any rival to me. I should be sole person. And Ekarajam. So he wanted to rule over the entire material universe. There should not be any other ruler. He should be ruling the entire universe. And he starts performing severe austerities. Severe austerities with a lot of determination. So, and then effects of his austerities go to the higher planetary system. And they all go and appeal to Brahma. Can you go and take care of this demon Hiranyakashipu? He is doing so much austerities that that effect is coming to us. And he goes, Brahma goes and asks Hiranyakasipu, and Hiranyakasipu tells his plan that this is how it should be, this is how I have to. Then Brahma says, I can't give you something which is not in my hands. I myself, I am not Amaram. I'm not Amaram. I'm not deathless. Then how can I give you that benediction of deathless? And Hiranyakasipu thinks like, okay, he thinks smarter. He praises, like when Brahma wins, he praises Brahma, and then he puts his request. This is the things I want. So then Brahma rejects that he cannot give him immortality, which is not in his hands. Then Hiranyakasipu, smarter, he asked Brahma, I should not be killed by any living being created by you. So he thought that Brahma is supreme and everybody is created by Brahma. We all know that Lord Narayana, Krishna, is not created by Brahma. In return, Brahma was created by him. So there itself, Hiranyakasipu made a big mistake. He completely ignored Lord Narayana. He already exempted him from his boon. I should not be killed inside or outside, during daytime or nighttime, by any others beyond you, by any weapon, human being or animal. He's a little bit smarter. Ravana was not smarter. He thought that human beings and monkeys are useless. They are not going to do anything to him. So he exempted them. But here he did not exempt the human beings and animals. He included them also. From any living or non-living entity, by demigod or a demon or snakes from the lower planets. So he kind of thought that I covered everybody. And then Brahma knows that he has somebody who can take care of this. So Brahma gives that benediction. And now Hiranyakashipu became super powerful. So when we get these material appearances, power, strength, money, name, fame, pride comes. We think that we are controllers. And then we start doing the mistakes. And Hiranyakasipu started terrorizing the universe. The entire universe. He was so mean. He did not leave any single person. He even goes down to terrorizing and torturing his own son. So Hiranyakashipu starts his demonic activities. So that is what we are seeing, what he is doing. Devo dhyana shriya justham adhyaste smatri pistapam Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan Nirmitam Vishvakarmana Trailokya Lakshma Ayatanam Adhyuvasa Akiladhimataha Akiladhimat. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hiranyakashipu, who possessed all opulence, began residing in heaven with its famous Nandana garden, which is enjoyed by the demigods. In fact, he resided in the most opulent palace of Indra, the king of heaven. The palace had been directly constructed by the demigod architect Vishwakarma and was as beautifully made as if the goddess of fortune of the entire universe resided there. So Hiranyakashipu tortured everybody. The people on the earth, in the heaven. So usually the Devi Devatas are powerful. So they also could not defeat him because Hiranyakashipu, because of his austerities, overpowered them. He became more powerful than them. So Devi Devatas, or somebody who has done a lot of punya karmas in their previous life, pious activities, and they got a Devata body. So anybody can become Devata, anybody can become Brahma. If we see, after Yudhishthira, after the Kurukshetra Yajna, Krishna oversees the different kind of yajnas which Yudhishthira does, which are almost equal to becoming Brahma. So there are so many ways to become Brahma. There are ways mentioned in scriptures to become Brahma and Indra also. So it is not that Devi Devatas are undefeatable. They are always defeated by powerful demons. So Hiranyakashipu, who possessed all opulence. So this is very dangerous. When we get opulence, we get intoxicated of that. And then we become more and more proud. So he goes to Indra's palace, and he starts living in his palace, which was built by Vishwakarma, who is the Devata's architect. And then he starts enjoying in the Nandana garden, Nandana Vana. He starts enjoying there. The palace of Indra looked as if the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, lives there. So it is so opulent. It is so beautiful. It has everything first class and best. So many times we get attracted by these opulences. And instead of doing devotional service to the Lord, we end up doing pious activities. Even when we are in the association of devotees, knowing that the pleasures that we get from the heavenly planets are temporary, we get attracted to them. Not only that, we get attracted to the material pleasures which are so temporary in this material world. We don't realize the nature of the material happiness. The nature of the material happiness is that it is temporary. We don't get what we want always. Even after we get what we want, it will not give us the pleasure that we have imagined. Even if it is giving the pleasure that we have thought, oh, I always thought that if I go to Hawaii, it is going to be like this only. I'm going to enjoy like this only. We can't live there forever in a vacation mode. Even the people who are living in Hawaii, they don't live all the time in a vacation mode. They have to go and work. It may be the beautiful place in the world, but they can't live there without working. They have to work to maintain their body. So they have to go back from the vacation mode. So we can't live there forever. After vacation, we have to come back. So anything material happiness is temporary. So it's going to stay for a certain time, and then later it will leave us. Either it is going to leave us or we are going to leave us. Let's say we have worked hard all our life and built $1 million house. We are not going to live in that house permanently. The house may be living there. All the things that we have bought, all the time that we have in this form of body, we spent in accumulating those material things in our house. Those things will be still there, but we won't be there. We won't be there to enjoy the so-called enjoyment we thought that we will enjoy. And then our life is done. So material pleasures are always, material happiness is always like that. Either we will leave it or it will leave us. So we should know how much time and energy we should be spending in those things. And we should seek the spiritual happiness that we are going to experience by chanting the names of the Lord, by hearing the pastimes of the Lord, by rendering devotional service to the Lord, which will actually take us back to our home where we don't have old age, disease, birth, death. And we will actually always enjoying our senses in the association of the Lord, and we are always blissful. We enjoy there more. Our senses enjoy there more because we engage our senses in the service of the Lord. Rishikeshena Rishikeshasya Sevaya. So we should not get distracted by the material opulences or even the heavenly planets. From this description, purport. From this description, it appears that all the heavenly planets of the upper planetary systems are thousands upon thousands of times more opulent than the lower planetary system in which we live. So they are very, very opulent. We can't even imagine whatever we are seeing here. Sometimes when we go to a beautiful place in this world, we say that it is like heaven. Sometimes we say in our own house also, when there is no power for 10 days and suddenly the power come back and it's a winter time and we can now switch on our heater. Oh, it's like heaven. So generally we say like that, meaning that heaven is going to give us more, it is like ultimate happiness, when it is not really. So it is thousands and thousands of times more opulent. And Vishwakarma, the famous heavenly architect, is known as the construction of many wonderful buildings in the upper planets, where there are not only beautiful buildings, but also many opulent gardens and parks, which are described as Nandana Devodhyana, gardens quite fit to be enjoyed by the demigods. So he just did not build the buildings. There is a lot of greenery around. There are many parks, gardens, fountains, and everything where the Devi Devatas enjoy. And their Devi Devatas, the life of Devi Devatas is like, it's not that they are escaping birth and death. They have birth and death, but miseries are less. They do have miseries. They do get defeated. They do have fear. They do get defeated by the demons. They do sometimes pulled out of their houses. Like Indra, Indra is removed from his house. That's when Vamana Avatara comes. So things that like that do happen. This description of the upper planetary system and its appearances is to be understood from authoritative scriptures like Vedic literatures. So we should know about the descriptions of how the heavenly planets, how the higher planetary systems are there by the scriptures. Telescopes and other imperfect instruments of scientists are inadequate for evaluating the upper planetary system. Although such instruments are needed because the vision of the so-called scientist is imperfect, the instruments themselves are also imperfect. So we see the skies. Some people will put powerful things and they see the stars and moons which are in the upper planetary systems. So those instruments are also imperfect. Our eyes are also imperfect. So we try to see through them. We should see through Vedic literature, scriptures, these heavenly planet system, these higher planetary systems. Therefore, the upper planets cannot be appraised by imperfect men using imperfect man-made instruments. Direct information is received from the Vedic literature, however, is perfect. So whatever the information that we are receiving from the Vedic scriptures, one minute, Mataji.
Okay.
Sorry, Mataji. So direct information received from the Vedic literature, however, is perfect. We therefore cannot accept the statement that there are no opulent residences on the planets other than this earth. So we should not think that only on earth we can see the pleasures. There are many planets which are more and more opulent. In the universe, as you all know, we have read many times, like above earth, there are, before we go to heaven, there are many planets which are where the quality of the material life will be more better. Like even here in this world, we see that the quality of material life is better for those who are more opulent and more rich. But this is all again comes under material happiness. It looks like we are living happily, but we should always remember this example that the material happiness is as good as living in a first class cell where we have AC and all the comforts in a jail. But still we are in jail. Still we are conditioned by the body. And we cannot escape these three types of miseries. Miseries that are given by our own body and mind, miseries given by relatives and friends and family, and miseries that are given by the natural calamities. These things anybody cannot escape. how much ever money we have, how much ever fame, name, beauty, anything that we have, out of these three miseries, we cannot escape them. At some point of time, however rich, beautiful we are going to get old, and we are going to face the problems that are going to come from the old age. So still we are in jail. So the reason we should not be desiring these material opulences is, it is not a permanent happiness. It is not a permanent solution. It is just saying that, okay, I'm comfortably living in a big, in a comfortable cell in a jail. So if we are in a cell and your friend or somebody came to see you, and then you say that, how are you? And then you say that, oh, I'm good, but you know what? It's very cold. The blankets they are giving are not very comfortable to me. Next time, can you come? Can you get a good set of blankets? If that person comes and gives you a good set of blankets, you start feeling comfortable in the jail. So every time you are complaining something and they are giving you they are sending all those things to you, then you will become more and more comfortable to be in the jail. You will not imagine, you will not try to come out of that jail. So sometimes these material opulences and material pleasures, which are very temporary, are actually pushing us into that comfort zone where we are not taking our devotional service to be serious, and we are not trying to come out of this conditioned nature of putting ourselves into a material body. We all have our spiritual body. So we all should try perform devotional service so seriously that we can come out of this birth-death cycle and we can go back to our home, Goloka Vrindavan. So sometimes let's not get attracted to these material things, because they are actually like those comforts given by a friend to a person in a jail, where he gets comfortable and does not think of going out. So here he kind of occupied the palace of Indra, and he is now enjoying all the places where Indra and his denizens enjoy. Hiranyakashipu is there. Yatra vidruma sopana mahamarakata bhuvaha yatra spatika kudhyani vaidurya stambha pankatyaham yatra chitravitanani padmaragasanani cha payah pena nibhasyaya muktadama parichadha kujadbhirnupurairdevyaha shabdayantai itastataha ratnastalishu pashyanti udhati sundaram mukham tasmin mahendra bhavane mahabalo mahamana nirjitaloka ekarat reme bivandyangri yugassuradibi pratapitairurjita chanda shashanaham. So Hiranyakashipu's residing in heavenly place. So that is what here it is. How is Indra's palace? The steps is explained here. So for us to actually imagine how the heavenly planets are. The steps of King Indra's residence were made of coral. The floor was bedecked with invaluable emeralds. The walls were of crystal and the columns of Vaidurya stone. The wonderful canopies were beautifully decorated. The seats were bedecked with rubies, and the silk bedding, as white as foam, was decorated with pearls. The ladies of the palace, who were blessed with beautiful teeth and most wonderfully beautiful faces, walked here and there in palace, their ankle bells tinkling melodiously, and saw their own beautiful reflections in the gems. The demigods, however, being very much oppressed, had to bow down and offer obeisances at the feet of Hiranyakasipu, who chastised the demigods very severely and for no reason. Thus Hiranyakashipu lived in the palace, severely ruled everyone. So all these beautiful things were actually before enjoyed by these Devi Devatas. Now Hiranyakashipu occupied that place and he chastised them. He kind of, so these all places where they were the sources of their happiness before have now turned to the sources of misery for all the Devi Devtas. Because the Devi Devtas are now living in the same place, but the ruler is someone else. And he is actually not treating them nicely. He's being rude to them. Hiranyakashipu, Parpat. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful in the heavenly planets that all the demigods, except Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, were forced to engage in his service. So everybody are engaged in his service, except Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. Indeed, they were afraid of being severely punished if they disobeyed him. So they were all always in a constant fear that he is going to punish them if they disobey him. They were actually in a position of ruling this universe before Hiranyakashipu has overpowered with his benedictions, has got that superpowers. So they were actually ruling this universe. Now the things turned. They are complete opposite. So these kind of scenarios we find in material world also, where we will have an upper hand until today, and tomorrow we may have a lower hand. So we should not ever be proud or puffed up of the material things or material happiness or the skills that we have or the talents that we have, which Krishna has blessed us. We should always be humble, use them always in service of Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti has compared Hiranyakashipu to Maharaj Vena, who was also atheistic and scornful of ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas. Yet Maharaj Vena was afraid of some of the great sages such as Bhrigu, whereas Hiranyakashipu ruled in such a way that everyone feared him, but Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. So all these are bad boys that we see in Bhagvatam. King Vena, he is also like that. But he is also very demonic. He was also atheistic and he did not believe in any of the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in Vedas. But he was little bit fearful of great sages like Bhrigu. But Hiranyakashipu did not exempt anybody. He even ruled over them, and he even tortured them, gave pain to them. Hiranyakashipu was so alert against being burned to ashes by the anger of great sages like Bhrigu that by dint of hostility he surpassed their power and placed even them under the subordination. When he was doing austerities itself, Hiranyakashipu know that these rishis, these great sages, have done lot of tapasya, lot of penance, and they are more powerful. And by just chanting a mantra, they can defeat him. So that's why he actually overpowered them in that aspect also and brought them to his control. It appears that even in the higher planetary systems to which people are prompted by pious activities, disturbances are created by asuras like Hiranyakashipu. So Prabhupada is saying the point that we discussed before, like even heavenly planets are not safe where you think that there won't be any disturbances. So there is no place in this entire universe. So Prabhupada writes next line only. No one in three worlds can live in peace and prosperity without disturbance. So wherever we go, we sometimes think that, oh, if I change this house, change husband, change wife, change the things will be nicer. But most of the times, it may be also correct, like the environment is, the circumstances and environments are bad. But most of the times, all the things that we are seeing in others, all the faults that we are finding in others, actually are inside us. So even if we cross the ocean and go to another place, we may find somebody with the same behavior. So this material world is like that. It's always the grass on the other side is greener. So many people think that, oh, I'm right now not having a good house, so I will work hard, I will do a lot of pious activities, lot of austerities, penances, and I'll get a lot of money, then I will be very happy. So we focus on getting a lot of money, And then we may lose in the process of earning a lot of money, so many other things which we don't even realize until we reach the goal of having money. And then we look back, we might have lost a lot of things. So in this material world, there is no peace and there is no place where we can live with peace and prosperity without disturbances. As long as we are running behind the material things, material happiness, the nature of the material happiness is that it won't give us permanent happiness or permanent peace. So we need to know that. So Hiranyakashipu conquered the palace, and then he is also torturing everybody except Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So he became so powerful. Like there is anything, everybody he is controlling. Tamangamattam madunoru gandhina vivruttatam rakshamasesha upasatopayana birvina tribistapo yoga balauja sampadham. Translation. O my dear king, Hiranyakashipu was always drunk on strong-smelling wines and liquors, and therefore his coppery eyes were always rolling. Nonetheless, because he had powerfully executed great austerities in mystic yoga, although he was abominable, all but the three principal demigods, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, personally worshipped him to please him, bringing him various presentations with their own hands. So Hiranyakashipu was completely intoxicated. Because he is now in heaven, he's getting all kinds of nice wines, and then he's always drinking all of them. And his eyes were always red, and he was looking at his eyes itself. Half of the Devi Devatas and the people on the earth are getting scared. He used to control them by his eyes. He was abominable, but still, because he has acquired those powers by his austerities and his yoga, all the Devi Devatas were worshipping him, bringing him a lot of presentations and trying to please him, because now he became the Lord. If he is pleased by them, then he will stop torturing them. In Skanda Purana, there is a description. Upayanam daduhu sarve vina devan hiranyakaha. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that everyone but the three principal demigods, namely Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, engaged in his service. Madhvacharya says, Aditya Vasavo Rudras Trividhahi Surayataha. There are three kinds of demigods, the Adityas, the Vasus, and the Rudras, beneath whom are the other demigods like Maruts, Adhyas. Chai Vishve cha Sadhyas Chaivets cha Tadgata. Therefore, all the demigods are called Tripistapa, and the same word three applies to Lord Brahma. So they are divided into three groups or three kinds. All the Devi Devatas are three kinds, Adityas, Vasus, and Rudras. If you all remember, in second canto of Srimad Bhagvatam, in first canto, we will see the preface how Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, and then Sukadeva Goswami starts speaking Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. And the first thing they talk about in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is about the creation. So Parikshit Maharaj asks him about how this universe is created, who is creating all these things. So can you please explain to me about the creation of this universe? Then Sukadeva Goswami starts explaining, and Narada Muni, he goes to Brahma. That pastime is explained. And after paying obeisances to Brahma, Narada Muni thinks that Brahma is the creator. So he starts praising him, and he asks him, who is the creator? And then Brahma starts explaining to him that, no, I am not the creator. I have a creator who has created me and who has given all the ingredients to create this universe. So when he was mentioning that, he will say that these are the first things that are created, Adityas, Vasus, and Rudras. So these are the three groups. And underneath them, all the demigods, Maruts, Sadhyas, and all, they come. They are all called Tripistapa. And they all actually take care of the universal affairs. taking care of this material world. They are like maintainers of this material world. And they work under the they work under the controlling power of Lord Vishnu, but they are actually helping this material world to run. So all of them, they were taking care, they were ruling this material universe on their own before. Now they are under the control of Hiranyakashipu. Before they were under the control of Lord Vishnu. Now Hiranyakashipu has conquered all of them. Jagur Mahendrasanam Ojasa Stitam Vishwavasustumburasmadadhyaha Gandharva Siddharushayostu Vanmuhur Vidyadharascha Chapsarascha Pandava. So all these verses mention the different kinds of beings who live in the higher planetary systems. So even we see that when Lord Narasimha appears in the 7th canto only, there are so many verses where all these heavenly higher planetary, all the living entities who are living in these higher planetary systems come and offer him prayers. So all these people, they are not humans. Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, Gandharvas, all these they are not human beings. They have a more better form of material life than humans. Like how we are having more better kind of life than animals. So all these heavenly planets, higher living beings have a better life than us. O Maharaj Yudhishthira, descendant of Pandu, by the dint of his personal power, Hiranyakashipu being situated on the throne of King Indra, control the inhabitants of all other planets. The 2 Gandharvas, Vishwavasu and Tumburu, I myself and the Vidyadharas, Apsaras and the sages, all offered prayers to him again and again just to glorify him. Actually, all these people, Gandharvas, they can sing. When anybody sings wonderfully, we say that your singing is like Gandharva Gana. So they are very good at singing. So I think Vidyadharas are very good at some of the Siddhi powers where they can become whatever they want, like small or big. I don't remember that part correctly, but that's what it is. And Apsaras are beautiful ladies, like they are very beautiful, most beautiful. So all these people used to glorify Lord Vishnu before. Especially Narada Muni, he always used to use his veena and glorify glorify the Supreme Lord. Now the situation is so changed, it became so worse for them that Hiranyakashipu, because of his power of the benedictions that he got from Lord Brahma, he thought that there is nobody who can do anything to him. I became super powerful. I'm not going to die. So when you don't have a fear of death, you do whatever. And when you know that you are the most powerful, there is nobody who can give you any kind of a punishment. You are the king. You are the controller of this entire universe. There is nobody can do anything to you. Instead of becoming humble and doing the right things, most of the times we do the wrong things. So all these demons are examples for us that the more the material appearances and powers increase, the more we should be humble. They say that a tree which is full of fruits bends down. So that's how we should become. So when we are practicing devotional service, all these side things will come. We may become rich, everything start going good to us. And everything that we are planning or doing may be resulting in good and all. All these things should make even more humble, knowing who is the cause of all causes, not becoming puffed up of all those things. So sometimes we even get puffed up by our own chanting, by our own practicing of devotional service, that we say that when we see somebody who is not practicing, we will say that, why are you not practicing? Maybe you are more engaged in your material things. See how I am. I put aside all the material things and I'm engaged in devotional service. So we become very judgmental. We become puffed up. We become proud. We have to become more humble and meek. We become opposite. So the Asuras sometimes become so powerful that they engage even Narada Muni and similar devotees in their service. This doesn't mean that Narada was subordinate to Hiranyakashipu. Sometimes, however, it so happens in this material world that great personalities, even great devotees, can also be controlled by the Asuras. So just because Hiranyakashipu has controlled Narada Muni, it is not that Narada Muni is now lower than Hiranyakashipu. He is great devotee, and he is most powerful. He can go to anywhere, and he is most respectable. He is spiritual master for many of the great devotees. But sometimes it so happens that the temporary power which these asuras get will make them so puffed up that they start feeling that they are powerful than anybody. So this is how Hiranyakashipu has done all those things which he should not be doing as soon as he get power. So if we see, if any of you have read Ramayana, Ravana does the same thing. As soon as he gets power from Brahma, as soon as he gets the benediction from Brahma, before he even reaches Lanka, he accumulates lot of sins. Vedavati curses him because he tries to abduct, he tries to touch her when she is doing tapasya. Later he goes to Kailasa and shakes the Kailasa mountain. So Nandi, Mother Parvati curses him. After that he goes and he fights with the king of Ayodhya, Aranyaka. Aranyanya, not Aranyaka, it is like, I forgot the name right now, the correct name. So he also curses him that somebody who is born in this dynasty is going to kill you. And he gets a curse from Ramba because he tries to misbehave with Ramba, who is the wife of Nalakuvera, son of Kubera. So before he even reaches his house, he accumulates the curses. So when all these demons, after getting power, start torturing the devotees of the Lord is not going to let them do that. Lord is going to come and protect his devotees. He is okay as long as he is doing something misbehaving with him. But the moment they touch his devotees, Lord is not going to leave those people. So actually, the most powerful people in this entire world are devotees of the Lord, because they get the protection from the Lord. So as a devotees of Lord, we can be fearless. But that fearlessness comes to us when we practice, when we do our sadhana properly. And that sadhana comes from chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So always we should accompany our listening of scriptures with the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. We may be listening so many things, but we will not be able to put them in practice. We don't get the willpower, we don't get the determination to do that unless we have a strong sadhana. And strong sadhana comes from chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So all of us should take out time for ourselves. We spend all the time in our bodily consciousness, thinking that I am certain and certain person based on our body. I'm born in certain family. I am with this surname. I'm a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a wife. I'm a husband. I'm a son, like that. So those are all bodily recognitions. And most of the time we work for those things. But our real position is that we are eternal souls. We are servants of the Lord. And when we chant the holy names of the Lord, when we hear the scriptures, when we listen, that's when actually we are living like ourselves in our real consciousness, in our real position. When we don't do that in a day, then we actually killed our soul. We may be alive physically, but we killed our soul. So always we should keep our spiritual sadhana as priority for us. We should do that first thing in the day before we get into this worldly affairs. So in that way, we will become fearless. We will get protection from the Lord. And we will go back to our home one day. So we don't need to be worrying about any of these asuras. There is only one asura, Hiranyakashipu, in that time. Now we have asuras in every one of us. They may not have a features that make obvious that they are asuras. All of us look like humans only, but we have so many asuric tendencies inside us. Lust, anger, greed, envy, jealousy, lust, kama, krodha, madam, ashcharya. So we have 6 enemies inside us. So we have to purify ourselves by chanting of the holy names of the Lord and then go back to our home. So our sadhana should be very strong to become fearless. And when asuras like Hiranyakashipu come, we will be able to face them. So I completed until verse 14, Mataji. So 15 is tomorrow. I'll stop here. Anybody have any questions or comments or corrections? Please go ahead, Matajis and Prabhujis.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Madana Pranam to you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranams. All
Thank you
glory
so
to
much.
Bhagwan.
Wonderful class or association, Mataji. Always look forward. Mataji, in the verse 12, this statement, it says, no one in the three world can live in peace and prosperity without disturbance. Shouldn't it be with disturbance?
No, when there are no disturbances, then only you live in peace and prosperity, right? So,
Okay, just this, it says no in the beginning. And
yeah.
then, yeah. So no one in the three can live in peace without disturbance. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone wants peace like that, right? That's true.
Uh-huh. You will have peace only when you don't have disturbances. So.
Yeah. And Mataji, you mentioned in your class about Vamana Dev and something Indra.
Yes.
Some connection. I mean, I have not heard of it. So that I just wanted to know what is that connection that Vamana Dev had to come and how is Indra involved in it?
That pastimes comes in 8th canto of Srimad Bhagvatam. So, Indra gets defeated by the demons, Pali Chakravarti and all. And he has to flee from that place. He leaves heavenly planet and he goes away. So Indra's mother, Aditi, she goes and she performs austerities to please the Supreme Lord, asking him to give back the heavenly planets to his son, Indra. So then the Supreme Lord takes the avatar of Vamana, like a small boy, 5-year-old Brahmana boy, and he goes to the place where Bali Maharaja is performing an yajna. And he goes there and he asks him for 3 steps. So in the 3 steps, the Supreme Lord Narayana, he occupies with 1 step all the heavenly planets, with the second lower planets. And in the 3rd step, he puts that on the head of Bali Chakravarti and he pushes him to the lower planets. So in that way, he gives back the kingdom to Indra. So that is the Vamana Avatara, which comes in 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I guess.
Oh, so Vamana Deva is fulfilling a desire of like a Devta.
Aditi.
Aditi. And in the process also, he is testing Bali Maharaj.
Yes, Bali Maharaj knows when he comes and asks. Bali Maharaj is also a great devotee, like Bali Maharaj's guru Sukracharya tells, don't agree to whatever. He is the Supreme Lord. So, but Bali Maharaj says, I know that if Supreme Lord Vishnu himself is coming and asking what can be the best thing. So,
So basically, Lord, what he does is he's playing multiple roles. You know, like he's fulfilling a desire. Here he's testing. So he's
he does that every time. Like he engages himself in beautiful pastimes. Otherwise, all these demons, he can kill them from his own world. But he never does that. He always keeps Brahma's words. Even in the case of Ravana or in the case of Hiranyakashipu, Brahma gives that boon, and Krishna, he thinks that, oh, now I get to take a new avatara. I can do this. And he overpowers that, and then he comes in Narasimha, he comes as Rama, and then he plays. It's a pastime for him. He brings his devotees and he does that. He does multiple things when he comes.
Okay,
The purpose
Mataji.
is to. Mhm.
Also, Mataji, what is the difference between Narayana and Vishnu? Like, just a little bit difference I wanted to know, because sometimes word Lord Narayan name is mentioned, and I always think that it's similar because Vishnu had 4 arms, right?
Mhm.
And so what is like, we know the difference between Hiranyakashipu and Vamanadev, right?
Mhm.
There were different pastimes, and of course we know the difference between Ram and Krishna and Vishnu. Like,
Mhm.
we heard that Krishna is like, it's not coming on my head, the words are not coming in my mind right now, but it's like in uniform, right? When the person is in uniform, he's Vishnu, and then the person is at home playing with the kids, it's Krishna, like that. I'm just saying little bit, like example giving you so you can understand my question. So like Vamana, so the Narayan and Vishnu, can you explain little bit how do we understand the difference?
All of them, in one sense, are same. So Vishnu, Narayana, Krishna. Vishnus are 3 Purusha avatars, like Garbhodakasai Vishnu, Kshirodakasai Vishnu, Karanodakasai Vishnu.
Yes.
So Narayana is actually is the king of Vaikunta, like is the lord of Vaikunta in the spiritual world. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, they explain with percentages like how many, how much is like he's the from Narayana, actually the water, the casual ocean comes, and in which the Karanodakasai Vishnu. So he's little bit in the hierarchy is more upper than that. So same, like, Krishna himself is expanding, and then how to say that? And from Krishna expands himself as Narayana, and from Narayana comes all the Vishnus. And in one way, sometimes when we also refer Vishnus as Narayana. And
Okay, Mataji. And also, like, when we talk about Lakshmi Narayan, right? So then it is Lakshmi is always 2 things I think she's doing, always cleaning the floor, and always she's pressing the feet of Lord Narayan. Am I right?
we don't need to. She just doesn't do only those 2 things, Mataji.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
When you
I'm saying that
mention
because
only
I
those
just
2 things, when you
many
mention
things.
only those 2 things, it obviously appears not like his wife. It appears as a maid servant, but actually she performs services to the Lord as a maid servant only. She serves him, Pada Sevanam. She always serves the Lord. She's a great devotee of Lord, and she always it doesn't just stop there. She's also an eternal consort of him, right? Like, but she likes to serve him. So we should put in that way, actually.
So she's also in Vaikuntha planet.
Yeah, she's also in Vaikunta planet.
So we know we worship.
Upland.
Okay. So we worship Radha Krishna, who's in Golaka Dham. Then we worship also Lord Narayan and Lakshmi Narayan. We say Lakshmi Narayan. And then with Vishnu, it is which feminine do we connect?
It's same Lakshmi again, like Lakshmi only.
Lakshmi only. We normally don't say Vishnu Lakshmi, right? We say Lakshmi Narayan.
Yeah, we say Lakshmi Narayan, but again Vishnu. See, there is no other concept for Krishna in any. It's Radharani herself expanding to Lakshmis. Like all are same. Like there is no other name actually. So Radharani expands herself into gopis, Radharani expands herself into the queens, and Radharani expands herself into the Lakshmis, all the Lakshmis in all the universes. Like wherever Lord Vishnu is lying down, Lord Vishnu is lying down in each universe as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, right? So Lakshmi accompanies him to all the universes. So there are many Vishnus. Like if you see in each universe, there is a Vishnu, Garbhodaka, as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. There is only one Mahavishnu who is in the casual ocean, who is also called as Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. And from him comes the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And then there is Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, who in the form of Paramatma is inside everyone's heart. So Vishnu actually represents the all-pervading nature of the Lord, where he is expanded everywhere. Narayana is like not, Narayana is not called, Narayana in that form is not called as a all-pervading, even though he is same, like all are same, like all are his expansions. We can't really say that, oh, Narayana is somebody else and Vishnu is somebody else and Krishna is somebody else. All are same in one sense. So that's why interchangeably we can use those words, but for all of them, source is Krishna. So, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sarva Karana Karana. So he is primary source in Golok Vrindavan. From him, all the 4 quadriloop expansions come. Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Vasudeva, Aniruddha. From first Sankarshana comes another Sankarshana. Again, 4 forms come. And from him comes Mahavishnu and Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu and Narayana. So all are same, but when we go into technical details, we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita and many. So Krishna has 64 qualities. Only Krishna has 64 qualities. All the qualities are exhibited in Krishna's form, not in the other forms. So that we can see and in the references.
Yes, Mataji, thank you so much. And one more question, like, sometimes we hear from our books, scriptures, shastras, that, like if we worship the Pitra, we go to the Pitra Loka. We worship the demigod, we go to demigod Loka. I mean, whatever, dham, that god thing. So if a human being is here and if he has a choice to go to Vaikuntha or Golaka Dham, what will qualify him to go to Vaikuntha Dham and what will qualify him to go to more higher Golaka Dham?
So if you are attached to Krishna, the form of Krishna, and you are worshipping Krishna, you will go to Golok Dham. If you are attracted and if you are worshipping Narayana, you can find the meaning of Narayana also in Vedas, which is the resting place of innumerable universes. Nara means the living entities, and Ayana means the resting place. So all the living entities will be from in him, like in Mahavishnu. So all these are interchangeably, all these names can be used interchangeably. So if we are attracted to Narayana, the 4 form of the Lord, Lakshmi Narayana, then we will go to Vaikuntha. If we are attracted to Rama and we worship Rama, then we go to Rama's planet. So the only qualification to enter any of those planets is rendering devotional service to them in that form. Because all of us are not same. Some devotees are like in Murari Gupta in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he was great devotee of Lord Rama. So they go to the Rama's planets. So if we become attracted and we surrender and we devote to Krishna, we go to Golok Vrindavan.
Okay. Yeah, that very nice, Mataji. Just and one last thing is Lord Narayan is also 400.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, Vishnu is also 400. Only Krishna is 200.
And that's why Arjuna wanted to always see, the 200 form. Remember when we hear, like
so,
he was
when he shows his Vishwarupa, he asks him, no, come back to this normal form. But Krishna himself comes in a 400 form when he appears in the cell for Devaki. So,
Same thing I
Mhm.
remember. I was about to say the same thing. Even Devaki was desiring, and she was desiring, like Arjuna was desiring, because he loved the 200 form. He was more comfortable because he was his friend. And one time we hear, right, he was sitting on his bed talking to him. He was comfortable. Like we think, then we say Krishna is a person. So, we have two hands, so we want to connect to Krishna. We want to connect to a Krishna person. But even Devaki said that for fear, because she was like, how you have come with jewelry and long hair and all that. Now you'll be caught immediately. But that was her love and protection. So then he quickly became a baby. So, but it was very this thing. Thank you so much, Mataji. And these thoughts are coming because of your wonderful class. And, like otherwise, I was just sitting very dull in the morning and thinking Bhagavatam is going to start. But the moment you started your class, how it aggravated my mind. And I was so much engrossed in the katha that from this katha, the nectar, that you gave us, uh, these questions are coming. And, some of the answers I knew, but I just wanted a repetition, which is so important, to understand. So we can have a clear cut vision of some even questions which are so, we should know. I mean, by now, difference between Vishnu, Narayan, but then, hearing from you, you're very knowledgeable, very senior. So, we gain that way so much. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Go ahead,
For
Prabhu.
the discussion, I would just like to add
Please go ahead, Prabhu.
a few things like, Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has showed the Shadbhuja avatar also, right, Mataji, with 6 hands. And Virata Swarupa has thousands of hands and thousands of heads. So, in short, like where we can compare all incarnations or all forms of Vishnu, which are emanating from Krishna, I think they are unlimited. So that's what I understood. So, you can explain a little bit on that, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, there are unlimited forms. Yeah, unlimited forms, unlimited things. So sometimes we get lost in these technicalities in defining a line, who is who. But one thing we should always remember is, for all these things, the source is Krishna. So Krishna, like when he came as Narasimha, it is not that it is not Krishna, it is Krishna, but he did not exhibit all the qualities he has. Krishna is only the Purna Purushottam, like 64 qualities Krishna exhibits. So Krishna, when he comes as Narasimha, he did not exhibit all the qualities. Krishna did not do any sweet, beautiful pastimes. He just fulfill the purpose and go. So the reason Krishna is very sweet and we get attracted, because Krishna was when Krishna came down to material world, he came as himself with all his qualities. So that's why many of us get attracted to Krishna, because of his all leelas in Vrindavan, which is pure devotion. There is no even reverence there. Like even when you go to Rukmini and all, they all have little bit of they worship Lord with reverence. So different devotees have different moods to worship the Lord, and the Lord expands himself unlimitedly. Like it's about 4 form, 2 hands. He can become somebody from 4 hands to 2 hands, or 2 hands to unlimited hands. So Krishna is all powerful, but Krishna actually enjoys his pastimes with his devotees in Golok Vrindavan, and he expands himself and takes care of all the material universes. He is the cause of so many material universes. Like as Mahavishnu in the Karana ocean, he sleeps, and with his inhale and exhale, he produces innumerable universes. And into these innumerable universes, he expands himself as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And then he takes care of these universes. He becomes the super soul of those universes. He is all these things, and he is also Krishna, who is enjoying the association of his devotees, and who is somebody going into all these universes and also playing the role of Krishna. So Krishna and his energies and his expansions are inconceivable. We cannot conceive them. We cannot draw them and put them in a picture and saying, oh, this is it. They are unlimited. Brahma himself says to Krishna, people may say that they know about you completely, but Krishna, I don't know. We cannot count. We cannot count Krishna's qualities, Krishna's expansions, Krishna's name, fame, the glories. Brahma himself gives up saying that, no, people, let them claim that they know you, but Krishna, I don't know you. So it is so difficult, but at times we can understand so that we don't get worried like who is supreme, whether Narayana is supreme or Vishnu is supreme or Krishna is supreme. So many places people think that Krishna is incarnation of Vishnu. So let them think like that if they are not ready to accept. But we know what the scriptures are saying, that Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Still they are approaching the Vishnu Tattva. So it is as long, see, so all of us has to progress in our devotional service to understand and even have a clarity in all these scriptures matters. So at some point of time, we should start speculating all these things and we should practice chanting. And then Krishna will reveal all these things from inside to us. Like he will make the things very clear. So sometimes I avoid going into too technical things because they are so difficult to comprehend. So the most important focus thing we have to do is like performing devotional service to the Lord. Yes, Prabhu, Krishna is unlimited.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, only when we were talking about the hands, I remembered the Shadabhuja avatar with which Krishna displayed with 6 hands. So
6 hands,
which
yes.
selfly explained that he is Krishna, he is Rama, and he is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes. He puts all those hands, yep. He is everything.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. I didn't know about the Shad Bharata. I've heard this first time.
Mataji can explain in short if you are having time constraint.
Which form of Krishna became Shad Bharata?
Shadabhuja avatar, Mataji. Shadabhuja avatar.
Shadbhuja avatar. So
Yeah.
what
Bhuja
avatar?
means arms, like it has 6 hands.
No?
Mataji can explain, better than me. In short, Mataji, you can explain to Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Oh, can you hear me, Prabhu?
No, it was not audible.
Oh, Krishna. I think I am losing. Just a second, Prabhu.
Thank you for adding Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, it is a very interesting pastime, but
Yes.
from the mouth of one Malik Mataji will be really we'll have more understanding.
Something new is always heard, and it's good because it makes me feel I know less, don't know much. I have to learn more and more.
As far how much we know, it is limited because our scriptures are so vast.
Yes.
And then that is the only thing, like one has to have the essence of bhakti, like what we called in short a faith in the God, and then again practice bhakti yoga. That will definitely
Yes. And also, Prabhuji, carry an anxiety in us. We should have that anxiety that we have to know more.
Yes, that's correct. And your questions definitely makes everyone to realize more understanding. So but still,
I don't know if it is connected to today's class, but somehow Mataji was speaking and I was thinking that, we keep hearing the word Narayan and then Vishnu and then Krishna. And then, some people say when we go to Vaikuntha and then, other planets are there. So, hearing everyone, I think we should worship Krishna only because, going to Krishna's abode is the best. I'm thinking like that, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that kind of justice because I don't know, my bhakti is not very strong, but trying to associate more and more with devotees so I can
I think Mataji got disconnected completely, or
Really? Let me see.
yeah, she is disconnected.
Maybe I can just message her.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I think in the meantime, we can do japa for Savita Mataji's mom, who's in the hospital.
Mataji, I can, before Mataji joins, like if Mataji would like to explain more, but I would like to just mention Shadabhuja Avatar is in the when during the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was shown to, I don't know the name of the priest. I think Partha Prabhu will be able to, if he remembers that pastime exactly. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows this form of 6 hands, which is uh, one which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the kamandalu in the hand. So you see that if you just Google, you'll find this form. Very nice, very beautiful form with Kamandalu, which shows it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then behind, eh, 2 hands will have a flute, so which will represent Krishna himself, and in the back there will be 2 green hands which will have 1 arrow and bow, so that's why it's a Shadbhuja Avtara, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displays to one of the priests who was trying to do like competition.
Can you all hear me, Mataji? Sorry.
Yeah.
I was having, I think it was intercepting with my office Zoom, so that's why it was problem. Yes, the
Yeah.
Shadbhuja form. I remember, I think in the initial days in New York, when Prabhupada, I don't know if I remember correctly or not. I should go back and check. But I think they bring the 600 form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One of the initial followers, and then Prabhupada becomes so happy and talks about that. I hear that 6-hand form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned there first. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals this 6-hand form, as Prabhu was saying, in the with in one hand bow and arrow, which is representing Lord Rama, and in 2 hands flute, and then in one hand danda, like in a like total 6 hands, right? So bow and arrow in 2 hands, and flute with 2 hands, and he will have a sannyasa stick in one hand, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually manifests this form to show that how he is Krishna, or he is Rama himself. And I'm not remembering right now to who he reveals this form. That I have to recollect. Where, in which, I think it comes in Adi Leela somewhere, this form. So right now it's not on top of my head, the complete pastime.
Yes, Mataji, only what I remember, like it is the priest, like one of the pandits there during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, who was also a learned person, and he was thinking like and it was a competition. He was thinking that it in a competition way with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answers in such a way that, but still he don't agree that he is learned than him, so and then one fine time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that place is still there in Jagannath Puri, yeah, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Madhavendra Puri?
No, I remember he reveals to Nityanand Prabhu once
Not
in
Madhavendra Prabhu, not
Srivas.
Madhavendra Prabhu Puri.
No, I remember he reveals this to in Srivas Thakur's house to
Yeah.
Nityanand Mahaprabhu once. That I remember. That's where he reveals in Chaitanya Bhagavata. Like I read that. I remember.
And then Mataji,
yes.
after seeing that form, then the Brahmana who sees that form, he gets fainted, and then
Yes.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes into his original form, and then it is said that even he forget that what he saw, but still it was revealed somehow, to us from Chaitanya Adi Leela. Yeah.
Yeah. So in Adi Leela, I remember it was revealed to Nityananda Prabhu, and I don't know if it was really revealed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
Yes,
Also.
Mataji, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, maybe. I don't remember still.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in his house in Puri. I think he revealed, when you are saying that it is to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in Puri when they have discussions. That's where it got revealed. And then he also forgets. Yes, it's to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Prabhu. Actually, now when you are saying, I think it will be in Adi Leela somewhere. I will find that verse. So he reveals that form, Mataji. And I also remember, if I remember correctly, I have to go back and see the reference again. This 600 form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's picture was brought to Prabhupada in New York when he was in that 26th Avenue Matchless Gifts, that place. That also I'm remembering. I have to go back again and check that one also. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes so happy looking at, Prabhupada becomes so happy seeing that picture. So all these references, I'll try to find and send it in the group, Mataji, the actual verses and pastimes. But if I remember correctly, it was to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in Puri, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revealed, and also he revealed to Nityanand Mahaprabhu also in Srivas Thakur's house once. That also I am remembering. I just have to go and read those verses one more time and refer.
Yeah.
But the essence of this form is that he shows how he is Krishna and he is Radharama.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just shared, I think, something on our group, Everyday Chant.
Okay, Prabhu.
Also, just Geeta Mataji was mentioning about Mataji's mother had a situation of a heart issue. So if we can again today all chant the Mahamantra for early recovery and pray, our prayers are at the feet of Mataji and she recovers fast. It must be hard on Shamarasika Mataji because she is here, mother is there, and this situation is there, but I'm sure everything will become okay. And it's been caught on time, so it's not like just so we can all chant for Mataji's mother. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Lord
Krishna,
Narasimha.
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Hare.
Mataji, please
Krishna,
update us with
Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Geeta Mataji, and all the devotees for praying for my mother.
The second operation, you were saying one more blockage, has that been removed?
Yeah, they are removed tomorrow, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you, Geeta Mataji, and all the devotees.
We'll continue.
Mataji, yes, Mataji, please continue. And thank you, Malini Manjiri Mataji, for the wonderful class as usual. And the last sentence you said that because instead of more speculations or more thinking, we just focus on our chanting, and Krishna will reveal the best. So that is the sentence we can get from today's class, Mataji.
Yeah,
so
and
so
I also liked that when Mataji said that Krishna, Lord Krishna values his devotees the most.
Yes.
I mean, that's so beautiful.
Yes, Mataji.
Another question, Mataji, or maybe I just want to clarify. You mentioned that Hiranyakashipu was more demonic than Ravana. Can we compare that?
They are all equally demonic. The thing I said that Hiranyakashipu in asking, he was little intelligent than Ravana, where he put that, oh, I should not be killed by humans and animals, which Ravana didn't do. Ravana thought that humans and animals cannot do anything to him. Hiranyakashipu is like, he also mentions that I should not be killed by anybody created by you. So no, they are equally demonic because they are the same person taking different janmas, right? But they are different in the way, like one is by envy, one is by lust, like that. Like in that way, they prominently showed that feature. But they are all equally demonic.
Yeah, because they both are Jai Vijay, so
They are Jai Vijay and same person taking different lives, right? Like so, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Sisupala, Dantavakra. These are the 3 lives. So they are same.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you all so much, Mataji. You all have to forgive me. I have to drop my kid at 8
no,
here in
Mataji, thank you so much for being so much busy with kids.
Today, my Prabhu is still in Chicago, so I'm a single parent for now.
Yeah.
So,
Being so much busy, you are
Thank you,
giving
Mataji.
so
Hare
much
Krishna.
time, Mataji, and so much knowledge. So let's
and
pray
thank you,
businesses.
Prabhuji, for bringing that 6th form of the Lord. So now I have a work for me for today to find all those references.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
For me, it's falling first time in my ear. I have
Yeah,
never
no, it is there. So,
yeah.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Vancha
patitanamebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai, jai, jai.
Srimad
Fantastic.
Bhagvatam ki jai. Her Grace One Malini Manjari Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.